Welcome back, guys, to yet another World of Warcraft video on this channel. As you guys can see, it is a different background, but it's a background that you guys have seen before. I am now back in America, and that is why you haven't seen a video for the last couple of days. Now, we are obviously, as you can see, back to it. And today, the video that I want to bring to you guys is obviously, as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, a video about the classes that are going to be great for gold making in Dragonflight. Now, before we do get into it, make sure that you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with all the notifications on, and I do want to thank every single one of the patrons. There are so many people on this list, and I am so thankful for everyone that supports me over on Patreon and also continues to do so. And if you are interested, make sure you check out, for example, the second tier. There's going to be TSM groups on there, sniping groups through obviously Point Blank Sniper Auctionator, so you can get that through there. And then there is a very long document of alt army daily gold making activities, so that if any of that sounds interesting, make sure you hop over on the Patreon and you check it out. Now, let's get into the video here. So, I have been talking about this a lot over on my live stream on twitch.tv/Sansaful, but for the YouTube community over here and for the people that have not seen and can't catch the streams, the TLDR I'll give you for every class that I'll be using, but also that have some good uses. Now, the Druid, as you are looking at it right here, this guy is going to be great for pretty much everything. Making a Druid is... if you're a gold maker, you should be doing this. You should have a druid because it's not only is it great for gathering, and I know because of dragon riding, it's a little bit different, but druids are still great overall because of the racial bonuses that they can get to how fast they can collect stuff. Now, besides that, they're also great for 2x4s. If you guys don't know what those are, open world farms of obviously groups of people farming mobs in a specific location. That's the TLDR for that, and if you're more interested, you can look up some of those videos on my channel. Now, druids are great for that, specifically because they are great at pulling. Okay, they have Moonfire, Sunfire, and that can insta-pull any mobs into a big group of obviously mobs that you can then kill very quickly, and they damage obviously with dots, which is also very great. Druids are great. They have been doing that for multiple expansions. They're very much liked throughout the gold making community. So if you want to have a good chance of getting invited to those groups, having a druid is a very, very good idea. Now, on the note of 2x4s, monks. Monks are super, super good for 2x4s because of the monk statue. The Ox statue, is one that you can place down, and it will taunt any mob that's around the statue. Now, obviously, I have to keep it alive early on because, you know, gear isn't that great, but monks serve that purpose to stack up all the mobs in one location, but also to be able to easily tank everything, which is why monks are great. So if you're interested in 2x4s, if that's something that you're considering, make sure that you also get a monk. Now, besides those two, then it all really depends on what you feel like doing, because for 2x4s, you can also do something that has great AoE or good pull potential, which hunters is something that are very good for 2x4s, and so are mages. Mages are very good to stand in one location and just blow everything up, and hunters are also very good at pulling, just as druids are. So if you're interested in 2x4s, those four classes are very, very, very good to pick. Now, something that's come up in conversation a lot is the fact that Drakfear, obviously evokers as well, it's a race class combo. Those guys are going to be very good when it comes to gathering. Now, they have some racial bonuses that do increase and make it a little easier to find things, like their view distance for how far out they can see certain minerals. They'll also be able to see better minerals faster than others, which in some sense obviously sounds very appealing, but the thing is, it's not going to make too much of a difference once you level up your profession, you get the right profession gear, and all of those things. But obviously, if you're interested in playing Drakfear, they also have the Soar ability, which means they have dragon riding as a racial ability, which makes it a little easier to get around. They can also glide and double jump and things like that, which does make it a little easier to get around. So if you do want to try out gathering with a Drakfear and you plan on playing them, then go right ahead. But druids are still, for me and for a lot of other people, the number one situation. And if they're a little under Dragfear, well, then they're still number two, the second best option that you can have. And actually, and this is a very important thing, when it comes to gathering, it's important to realize that we get dragon riding while we're leveling, and we can max it out while we're leveling. Most people are probably going to wait until they get to 70, but we're going to have flying immediately. And there's also in the craftings, well, in the specializations for the professions, there are going to be levels you can use your knowledge points on that will make you able to actually farm or gather while you're mounted. So it's not that important to be a druid anymore, but a druid is still very likable until you get to that point. And also, if you ever want to do any old world gathering in old expansions, druids are absolutely 100% still the best for that. So that is very important to realize, and something that's important to think about if you're trying to get into gold making long term. But that's kind of my thoughts on it, the more important ones and what we've been talking about. If you guys have anything else that you think would be a really good idea to add to this list, make sure that you drop that down in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and let's get excited for Dragonflight together. But until the next one, see you guys.